Well, hello. Good morning. Just woken up. Well, some of you might know, but I've been busy with the Occupy movement for quite some time now. As you can see, I'm not in a tent or anything, so... Well, it was fun at first, but nah, it's not the way. We got your attention, that was the main thing, so... And I want to talk to you about the mainstream media and the alternative media and the alternatives. Because, well, Occupy showed us something really obvious. It's still showing us. It's the absence of good reporting, not just on the mainstream media's part, also the alternative media. I keep hearing, at least from some sites, that it's still just about the financial institute. No, it's just step one. No. We are being slaves, the population, the governments, the banks, the corporations, everyone is a slave to this community we have built up. So, why isn't it good that small amount of people, small group, I mean, let's say our leaders add up to about 100,000, 200,000 maybe, people that rule our lives, our daily lives. Well, let's say it's 1 million. We have 7 billion people on this planet. That won't work. We've seen that. Doesn't work in small groups, doesn't work in big groups. Because, well, you know, we used to have tribes, small tribes with village elders who we came to for advice if our daily lives didn't work out as we wanted them. That's a different story we hear these days. These days it's like we have rules, you better keep to the rules or you're fucked. Didn't work. And I can explain that. It's very simple. You have a big group of people. Everybody wants the best for himself. First and foremost. And after that comes the community. Nothing wrong with that, except when the community is forcing its importance on you, like we have now. So, it's not about the financial institutions itself. Mind you, it's a big problem, definitely. And we need to solve that too, definitely. That's a good starting point. But it's not all. It's just a starting point. You need to realize this. We cannot go home until all problems are solved. We cannot stop protesting injustice until all injustice is gone. So movements like Occupy and all freedom movements, etc., should be the connection between the populations, you know? Because no matter how you twist it and turn it, put it around, it's us that need to be doing our jobs. We need to find out a way to get out of this bullshit without our society crashing in on itself. And this is the biggest danger I foresee. It's not just the slavery and the suppression. It's about survival. We need to see that we're killing ourselves, and we know this. A year before I was born, a 12-year-old girl had a speech of about 5 minutes, and she told us, I want to have my kids to have a future. Well, I totally agree with her. That's why I never wanted kids until now. Until I got someone pregnant, you know. But I want to leave a beautiful world for my kid, you know. And it's still beautiful. But we need to clean it up. We need to clean up our own mess. We are soiling our own nests. It's just stupid. This planet is our nest. It's bacteria. And with stuff like HARP, we actually punch holes in our ozone layer. We make a hole in our layers. It's just being pushed out. And then the layer shrinks. You don't need to be a scientist to know that. Once you push it out, it won't come back. It's just stupid. I know we want to control the weather. It's not a bad thing, actually. But it's just stupid like this. We're fucking ourselves up. And it needs to stop. Because at the rate we're going right now, every production rises every year with a percentage, and we all say, oh, that's good. No, it's not. And companies like oil companies, like producing companies, just producing whatever. If it's too much, if it's more than we need, it's just stupid. And we do this. No, we actually cheer this. We want this somehow. I don't get it. I've had 3 computers and now a laptop. That's about, what should it be? 10 to 15 years span? Maybe even longer? I had to buy a new one because there were new techniques. First was a Pentium 2, then a Pentium 3, then a Pentium 4, then a dual core, then a laptop. Quad core or something? I don't know. What if we try to make a real open source hardware? So we can just take some parts out of it, replace them with better parts, instead of tossing away the entire machine and waste the resources. It's just stupid. I'm not saying we need to forget how we produce, and I'm not saying we need to stop investing our time in researching better ways to produce. No, of course not. I mean, there is a certain need at this moment on this planet, so it would be foolish to stop that. Yet, if there isn't any money, we do. Our society is stupid. We have food for 12 billion people, yet 1 billion people of the 7 billion people we have are dying of hunger. Have you seen those reports? I mean, they show you just the living kids with the big bellies and the flies in their eyes. Just imagine how those dead kids look like, because imagine how they're disposed of. I mean, are they even buried? I hope so. At least, given the respect they are due, they won't get it from their governments, because somehow we stopped caring about our neighbors, and we stopped caring about our fellow beings. But somehow just gnaws at you, nags at you. Because you know just as well as I know that we, the Western people, we with our taxes pay the NATO. We pay them to kill all those innocent people in the Middle East and in Africa and bring peace with guns and bombs and bullshit. It's a sad state we're in. But we can change it. We just have to work together and take small steps, because it's a big fucking problem and it's not solved in one stroke. There is not one genius stroke to solve this big problem. We need to slowly move towards a new culture, a new way of life. And it will evolve. I cannot tell you how this life looks like. I can only tell you my dreams. How I want this life to be. How I'm going to work for this life. And hopefully show you that even you can make your life the way you want it, just by working for it. Don't expect anyone else to make it come true for you. There is not going to be a savior unless you save yourself. It's just plain and simple. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You can ask their help. Most of them will help you, because they do care. But it's up to you. Just you. You need to get off your ass and do something. If it's protesting, do it. I mean, I'm not smart enough to think of ingenious laws that will stop crooks doing what they do and make our lives able to thrive, you know? Because we have such potential, and somehow we let ourselves be pushed down. Just look at the buildings we build. Look at the the nice things we have done, you know, the art, the beauty we produce, the communities we have, we definitely have. I mean, it's not all bad. That's not what Occupy is about. It's telling you it's all bad. No, there's a lot of beautiful, good things in this world. But we're losing them. That's what Occupy tells you. If this keeps up, the earth will change. We cannot kill this planet. Well, maybe with some sound waves Tesla thought up, but in theory, we cannot. Well, it's a creature, so we can kill it. We're stabbing it with harp. Imagine it, something inside you, your bacteria, yeah, devised something to push out your skin. Ow! That wouldn't be nice. Yet we do. So, do we need to stop it altogether? No, we need to pause at least and consider what we're doing, how it's affecting our world. I mean, at an atomic level, we are particles. So, is the rest of the universe, the multiverse, if there is a multiverse, it's all particles. I've seen this documentary about dark matter and black holes the other day. You know, there's this theory of this guy called Higgs. It goes something like this. Our current scientists tell you space is empty. We go beyond our sphere. We go into a vacuum. Believe me, not true. Check the asteroid belt. Smallest rock we've seen there is 10 meters in diameter. Now, my firm belief is the entire universe is filled with particles everywhere. And in fact, our Earth is bumping into these particles, sucking up more material. In fact, growing. We can easily measure this if we want to. So, in that particular way, we can hopefully negate the harp pushing out our air. Freaky as it may sound. But we need to balance that, huh? Just as we need to balance our need for wood and regrowth of forests. And just as we need to rebalance our usage of chemicals and materials that leave, like plutonium and uranium, debris that we cannot safely do away with in a short amount of time. We need to find that harmony between our technologies and the earth. If we cannot do that, we are doomed, just like the Romans before us, just like many civilizations before us. And it's not going to work if we let the elites or whoever is doing what's on the guide stones in Georgia, by cutting like 6.5 billion people out of the so-called paradise they want to create. I mean, come on. And I agree that until we get the terraforming of other planets underway, and so we can live there also and make it a beautiful planet also, because that's our job. We need to restrain of what we use on resources here that aren't renewable or take long times to be renewed. Look at us. We waste our rare resources on luxury. We waste it. You know? We could research these plants again. But instead, we let ourselves be guinea pigs for the pharmaceutics. I mean, come on. Look at what they do. They vaccine us and we get ill from the vaccines because they put the sickness in our bodies. Gosh. Should we get more resilient against it? Oh, that's so bullshit. And you know it, I know it. And yet, we comply. Next thing you know, you're getting chipped. No. You can control a chip. A chip can be programmed. So, if you have a chip inside your body, it can be programmed. These are things said lots of in the alternative media. Mainstream media is shutting up about it or makes it beautiful as if it's something good. And I hope I'll never have to be chipped, and I will do anything to stop that, because I don't want to be chipped. I will fight for my body, because the spirit inhabits this body for a reason. I took control of this body. And you have no right whatsoever to take control of this body. You are not God. You're just a part of the whole. If you want to call that God, be my guest. Just remember. Just remember. Okay? You know where you want to be. You have your dreams. Why don't you follow them? Just take a week for yourself if you don't know what your dreams are. Just take a week. Go into the forest. Leave everything behind and just enjoy the silence of the forest. Enjoy it. Don't go far enough into the forest until you do not hear the freeway. So you just hear the forest sounds and just do it. You'll find out what I mean. After a week, ask yourself, what the fuck do I want with my life? And how do I get there? Don't answer it. Just go back to your life and do whatever you want, and don't formulate an answer in your head. Just feel. Okay? After you've asked this and you've gone back to your old life, you will know. You will know. Will know what you want, you will know where you want to go and how you are going to get there. Plain and simple. Take some time for yourself in a calm environment. Then ask yourself, what do I want with my life and how do I get there? And then go back to your old life. Don't answer it. Don't formulate an answer. Thank you.